How's it going, everyone? My name is Dylan with Yahoo Esports. Today I'm joined with Dustin Browder. Dustin, so what do you do around these parts?
I'm the game director in Heroes of the Storm, so mostly I get to work with one of the most amazing teams in game development and just cheer them on while they do incredible work.
That's awesome. So can you give me like day to day what's it like being Dustin Browder? I know you answer a lot of tweets.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I do some tweets often in the morning when I first get in. If I'm lucky, I get to play in a play test and see what's going on with some of the new heroes. If I'm not lucky, I go to a bunch of meetings, see what's going on with various new things that are coming along in the game, and I again hopefully get to tell a team that's already doing amazing work that they're doing amazing work, and just sort of cheer them on and encourage them to keep doing the very very cool stuff they're doing and adding to this game every week, every month. They're always looking to do something new, whether it's a new talent or a new gameplay system to keep Heroes of the Storm sort of vibrant and alive and exciting for our players.
That's one of the coolest things about the game. Is it's like a living, breathing thing. So you're talking about new heroes. We have Dahaka now, and now we know that Tracer's coming out. Tracer has the same kit from Overwatch, right?
She's very similar. She got some differences because she's coming into Heroes. So, for example, Tracer in Overwatch gets a big heal when she uses recall. In our game, we couldn't make that happen. It was way too powerful.
That
That's
would
the
be
only
broken.
reason. Yeah, the only reason you ever recalled was to heal yourself, and it was ridiculous. But we try to make sure that all of these characters really feel like whatever the fantasy for that character is. And we were very, very fortunate that Tracer just kind of plugged in a lot of ways into our game. And so she's very, very cool. She does have a melee attack, which is, I mean, you melee in Overwatch with Tracer for sure because she's so mobile. But I think you melee a little bit more in our game than maybe you would do it in Overwatch. So there's definitely some style differences, but she plays in a very unique way, and she works very, very well inside Heroes of the Storm.
Would you say she has like a pretty high skill cap?
Oh, I think she's Tracer definitely, and it's sort of inevitable. We certainly had players come to us and say, "I love Tracer from Overwatch. I love the idea of Tracer. She seems really hard." The fact that she's so mobile means that her health pool is going to have to be low. She's going to have to be fragile, and if she's fragile and highly mobile, that means challenging. That's what that means. It means she doesn't have a lot of room for error, but if you know what you're doing, you can absolutely wipe people out.
It's interesting because a lot of like the really high skill cap heroes that have been played on competitive stage, like Falstad and Zeratul, have been more. I mean, besides Falstad, they've been almost all melee assassin heroes, like in your face. So it'll be really cool to see like a highly mobile, range damage dealer. Even though she does have her melee chops.
Right. Absolutely.
So. Otherwise, I want to talk about like the big patch that just came out. There's been like some hero like overhauls, especially till Sylvanas and Gazlo and Tychus. So do you think that they're like in a place now where we're going to see them on stages like this?
I really have no idea. When we put these things out, we do the best we can to make the pick rates of the talents really good, so that when you look at the talents, you can say to yourself, "Wow, there's meaningful choices with these talents, depending on the battleground that I'm on, depending on the heroes on my team, depending on the the heroes on the enemy team. I'm going to make different choices here." And a lot of these heroes did not have that kind of depth to them. There were single right choices in many of the tiers. And so our first step is always to make those choices really as good as they can possibly be. And then our second step is to see, can they be esports ready? Can they get to and survive in the hot crucible of esports that is, and see if it works. But that will be sort of the next step to see what happens. So we'll certainly be watching to see, if these guys are using those heroes. If not, why is that the case? We can certainly talk to these guys. That's one of the great things about coming to an event like this, is we get to make contact with these guys. They'll send us notes immediately. Sometimes they'll send us notes a month from now, and we get more knowledge about what we need to do to the game to make it better and better, more and more diverse, more and more interesting, better choices, better drama in esports, more fun on the ladder, all of it.
Yeah, that's very exciting. So you talk about the ladder and we talk about competitive play. It's there's been this thing with Heroes of the Storm, like who is this game for? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of times the esports pros that play this all day, every day, and so they get the things that the little intricacies that might not bother someone who plays it casually really kind of get to them. So I know that you guys like respond to feedback, and I think that it's really cool that Blizzard has been had an open ear to the competitive community. It's one thing that I think really sets Blizzard apart from some of the other developers. I also want to talk about Heroes of the Dorm. We're here, giant stage, lots of people, ESPN. Do you think that like cementing a collegiate environment is going to help the esports ecosystem?
I'd love to say I have a strategy around this, and maybe somebody inside Blizzard does somewhere, but when we heard this idea for Heroes of the Dorm, we all thought it was just really cool. It sounded like a lot of fun to go and see, these young men and women from college universities battle it out, to be able to, as a prize pool, give college tuition. It felt kind of honest and true and cool and just like a great event to go to. And so we did one last year, and there was doubts inside Blizzard whether this made sense for us and this would be successful.
Yeah.
We're going to do this tournament. What if nobody shows up? Like, this was a real fear that we had. And after that first event, the energy was so amazing. The crowd had such a great time. The players had such a great time. We felt like we got to keep doing this. So I don't really know what impact it has. I don't have a strategic enough mind to be able to tell you this is our plot to grow esports this way. We literally just did it because we think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of things like that at Blizzard. We look at something and say, we're going to do this. Well, what's the marketing strategy? And we go, and what's cool, right? And that has worked for us so many times. World of Warcraft didn't get made because it was a marketing strategy.
No.
It made it because a bunch of guys loved MMOs and they wanted to make one, so they did. Here's the Storm's in pretty much the same space. We wanted to make a game in this genre, so we did.
Yeah.
And it's been an absolute blast. And honestly, that's this tournament. We had some guys who were esports people working on an esports team. They had an idea for this. They got really excited. They'd worked with TESPA, which is a collegiate esports, sort of organization. And they said, "What if we did something like this?" And everybody's like, "Whoa, will that work?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's try it." And it's been just a really, really great show.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say thank you for talking to me. For everybody else, this is Yahoo Esports.